big deal for the MLS yesterday. Seattle Sounders becoming the first club to win the CONCACAF Champions League in MLS history. How about that?
Up the boys in Rave Green. I was thinking about wearing the kit here. I can't lie.
Yeah, you probably would have got clowned.
Hey, yeah, probably. That's why I stuck with the Marseille kit.
Yeah, I was going to say big ups for the Marseille kid, though. I respect it.
They got knocked out of the Europa League today, so or Conference League, whichever one it is.
West Ham, up the Hammers, had a way to fall to Frankfurt to eliminate you guys from knocking us out of Champions League spots. Now we're...
How do we knock you out of Champions League
West
spots?
Ham.
Oh, hurt.
I said up the Hammers because they lost. Yeah.
Well, then you said
because
found a way to let you know. I don't know. We're just going to move on. Yeah.
The away kit's always a solid move too. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that kid. I still got to get it. I'm slacking on that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I got some payment issues with it apparently. So.
Well, it happens.
Don't make him $130. Maybe that doesn't happen.
Wait, didn't you get yours already?
Yeah.
He's just having issues making his payments on it.
I changed cards.
So
it's a long story.
They come and take it.
They repo your jersey.
When I lost my wallet, I had to get a new card, and then I just haven't changed the card. So they're like, payment's not going through. I'm like, well, I'll change it at some point. Just deal with it. But here we are. So
yeah, well, I didn't come prepared with my kit today, but I had to rep some of the Tin Roof gear. Shout out to Tin Roof for the new cups that they hooked us up with. Appreciate you guys. Speaking of Tin Roof, that's where we're all going to be on Saturday, and that's where you guys should be too.
Mm-hmm.
The boys head north of the border to take on Montreal, and we will head down to iDrive and take over the green room over there in Tin Roof. And it's going to be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
$3 Ondas. We actually got the price on El Jimador dropped to $5 now.
There we go.
So $5 El Jimador and $0 entry. So free entry. Come on in. Come have a good time with us as we take on Montreal, man. I mean, they've been solid. They've found their form, as you said before, and they've looked good. They what is it? Their last 5. I gotta look at this.
All wins and a draw.
Yeah, all wins and a draw, and the draw coming at Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So they line up in the 3-4-2-1 quite often.
Mm-hmm.
Mihailovic is their
star man. He's been good.
He's their top-rated player. He's their leader in scoring. He's their leader in assists. He's what's making it go around for them right now. They're a very possession-heavy team. Even in the game against Atlanta, where they only managed, I think it was like 37% possession, they still ended up coming out on top. I'm looking at it right here. I got you.
Heard.
You don't have to exit out of what you.
That's
Yeah,
Atlanta,
38%. Yeah, I mean,
Atlanta,
but still, like Atlanta went to Montreal, had more possession than them, and
I'm talking about this game.
no, that's look at the date on that.
I'm trying to find this one. I got you.
Last week.
it's all right.
Yeah.
Is it?
So we're gonna go there and try to dominate possession. You know.
No, they're gonna try to. They're a possession team. They're a short passing team. They build from the back. They have that 3-4-2-1, so they allow their wing backs to get a little more advanced up the field. They attack through the left side and the right side. They do come through the middle, and they did score a goal against Atlanta through the middle, but they're gonna sit high, establish a high line, and hold possession.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure that it is those two.
Wanyama.
Yeah.
Wanyama's out with the yellow card.
Kone.
And Kone.
Yeah.
Kone. So they're two central midfielders.
1, 2, 3. Wait, yeah, 1, 2, 3 yellow cards, 4 yellow card.
And the
5
in that match.
So they're missing their 2 central midfielders. Both, I'm guessing they both started how many matches? 9, yeah. So and then Wanyama's up. I'm pretty sure he's obviously a starter. Yeah, 9 matches. So we're gonna be missing Robin.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably we can get into the formation a little bit later, but Thomas Williams will most likely be making his first MLS start alongside Schlegel and or another center back, or just Schlegel and a 2-back.
Mm-hmm.
So we both have yellow card problems, and it could make it out to be a little bit more sloppy game, I guess you could say, because you're seeing less quality on the pitch. So we could see some things that we don't expect.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind that. We need to play through the middle of the field. I feel like this game, especially with both of their central midfielders being out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not always our strong suit per se. So, and against a 3-back, you would obviously expect your striker to have a game himself too. Being that guy, that outlet in the middle of the field where he should have that one-on-one matchup most of the time. But we haven't seen much of Kara in the past 2 games. He hasn't been as involved, which is worrisome. But I'm not going to freak out yet, obviously. None of us should.
No.
But, yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be quite interesting to see how this game unfolds. It's 2 top teams. If in reality, you know what I mean, it can go either way.
Currently 3rd and 4th in the East. So Montreal has literally went from, I think they lost their first 4, then drew 2. So only 2 points, if 1 or 2 points in their first 5 or 6 games, to then now be at 14 points in 4th place in the East. That's pretty impressive, especially with some important points on the road. But let's just hope that we can now get some important points on the road, because this will now be the second match in 3 where we're playing the team right behind us in the table, which are games that you have to win to get those higher seeds in the playoffs towards the end of the season. We can't really drop important 3 points again. It's on the road, it's tough. If we get a point out of it, not bad. But 3 points would be very, very ideal.
To be fair, for this team, we're undefeated on the road still. I know we only had 3 away games maybe. Or
Yeah,
2.
I think 2 or 3.
It's either 2 or 3, but we're undefeated. Like
they've
I don't know why.
We
We play very good on the road, and it's probably more than 3. There's no way.
So we drew at Chicago, 1 at Galaxy, drew in Portland,
So 4.
1 at Columbus.
5.
No, 4.
Chicago.
Yeah, that's 4.
This is
Chicago.
home. This is home. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
All right, so we're good on the road, and hopefully I would be happy with the point in this game, honestly. I mean, they're right behind us in the table. We take a point, we're denying them points to go ahead of us, and we stay undefeated on the road. We have the next, 3 games after this on the road too? Or is it 2?
The next month is on the road. I don't think we play another home game until...
The 29th of this month.
Yeah, so the 29th. Yeah,
So
league-wise, the
games.
very end of the month.
3 games.
We obviously, we have the Open Cup match here, but it's league-wise, we're not playing another home game until the last week of the month. So
Yeah, we just had 3 at home in a row. Well, counting the Open Cup, so 2 league games at home in a row.
Yeah.
So it's 3 away isn't a terrible stretch. Then you come back and play Dallas, and you go right back on the road to New England. So we are bouncing all over the place for a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be that way, especially with Nashville stadium not being open at the beginning of the season, having to play their first 10 weeks on the road. They're going to have 10 games at the end of the season that they need to host. So
were they 10 on the road, or were they just Were they still playing at Nissan Stadium?
No,
they were 10 on the road.
Ooh,
all right.
They took their early road schedule to be able to play the late home games. So,
I would have taken that.
Yeah, I mean it's benefited every team that's done it. So I think we're going to cut real quick before the camera, and we'll keep talking about that point that you brought up, Bryce, because I have something that I want to add to it.
Oscar, as always, we'll just get started with your thoughts ahead of this matchup, traveling north to face a Montreal team that is in a hot run of form right now.
We do respect them a lot. They're a good team that had a good coach in there too, and and I see a model very clear and the way they do the things. So we have been preparing the week with a lot of expectations and a lot of positivism, like always.
Yeah, so like you were saying about we've found some form on the road. Um, that's a big part of being a title contending team and not just a good team is being able to win tough games on the road. And another part of that is being able to win games that are ugly and that things don't always go your game. You're not at your best. Things aren't going your way. That was the Charlotte game, in my opinion. You know what I mean? That was a very ugly 3 points.
Yeah, definitely wasn't the most beautiful game. Kind of had to grind it out at the end. We went defensive. And, of course, that's never going to be pretty for any team that goes and just parks the bus. Usually, probably 4 or 5 years ago, we would have seen a goal go in, and it's just a 2-2 draw at home. But now we kind of have a little bit of depth, a coach that's pretty competent and knows what to do to win. So, like we say all the time, like we hate when we go park the bus when we're only 1 up. But this season, even much of last season, I don't remember any late goals actually going in.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I don't think we have had those like heartbreaking goals late in games late last year. I've been very vocal critic of Poppy. You know what I mean? Like not saying that I hate him by any means. Not saying I want him out of the club. But when he makes mistakes, I will say it. You know what I mean? You guys haven't heard me say anything about him this year because all my previous gripes about him seemingly have been started to be answered. You know what I mean? Oh, we play a different midfield combo every single game, a different three. We've seen the same, we've seen the same first choice 11 per se all season. Slotting in and out, people that need rest, people that have dropped in form, this, that, and the third. He wouldn't make subs until it was too late. I think it's been like 5 times this season we've seen subs before the 70th minute, and I think it's twice already this year we've seen him come out at half with different subs. You know what I mean? Like, it used to be 80th minute before we saw him doing anything, and it's like, well, what are you going to do bringing Sylvester on in the 85th when we're down 2-0? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was always his weakness. He'd always make subs late, but coming into this season, we might finally be seeing him try to change his ways, in which if he sees something going wrong early in the game, he'll try to fix it earlier. So
it's good to see him being a manager, you know what I mean, in all aspects of the game. I mean, we play a very intelligent style of football, you know what I mean? Because we don't have one tactic we go out there week in and week out and play. We will go out there and adapt our way of playing to our opponent, you know what I mean? The basics stay the same. We want to play triangularly, or you know what I mean? We want to keep the triangle, we want to outnumber the opponent. Basics of football, it seems like, but we don't see a lot of teams do it effectively. Now, whether that means we go down the wings or we build through the midfield or even long ball up top, we always seem to do that. Overlapping runs, people in rotation, like.
We always, like, if someone, let's just say Mo has the ball, and he's just kind of dribbling up the field, not like at pace, but he's just trying to look for someone to find. There's almost always someone coming down the sideline, trying to get into that space, either make room for him, find a good passing lane, or just distract the defender to where he can do something else. And I think we can do that decently well, but then the final product is not always there.
It's not always there, and I feel like that's the thing that we need to work on the most, for sure. I was watching a documentary on Barcelona, and Thierry Henry was talking about playing there was the most frustrating thing, but the most satisfying thing, because you constantly have to make that run as that winger inside to create the space every single time that you have to make it. You're going to receive the ball 15% of the time, but you got to make the run every time, and if you don't, Pep was pulling you out. I feel like that's our fullbacks in this game right now. Especially Joao. He's gotta make that run to create that space for Facundo to be able to receive the ball.
Yep.
But he's only receiving the ball on the corner of that box maybe 20% of the time. So it's discipline. It's what it's come down to, and I think this is the most disciplined team we've seen in Orlando City in a very, except for Robin. Robin is disciplined as a player, but mental discipline. But he's got a little bit of work to do.
What else do you expect from a Swedish? What was it, horseshoe maker?
Yep.
Horseshoe maker.
Horseshoe, yeah. You kind of talked about that underlap with Barcelona, with Wanyama and Kone being out. Do we see a little bit more space in the middle for us to play through the middle? You said earlier we don't really play through the middle that much also. But with their two midfielders being out, why not?
Yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about it earlier on the preview post or the preview episode. I was talking about like how we're going to come out and play a 3-back and do this, that, and the third. But the more I think about it, yeah, we need to take advantage of the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
I could really see us playing more of a 4-3-3,
Mm-hmm.
but flat. You know what I mean? Like, I trust Thomas Williams a lot. You know what I mean? And Poppy coming out of the press conference and saying that, the natural replacement for when Jansson's out is Thomas Williams.
Yeah.
So I have faith in Thomas. Clearly Oscar does.
Mm-hmm.
But you know who I have more faith in is Caesar.
Yeah, slide back.
Be able to slide in there and give him that help and allow us to get more players up the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Not to necessarily be aggressive, because we've seen that when people are aggressive against Montreal, it doesn't necessarily work out for them.
Mm-hmm.
But just to establish ourselves more higher up the pitch, I feel like it's going to be imperative for us, especially on the road.
Yeah, I think I agree. And you say you trust Thomas Williams, you trust Caesar. So then combine both of those together, maybe play a 3-back. Let Caesar kind of slot back if we need it, like we saw at the end of last game. At that point, we're doing exactly what I didn't want last year, which is literally playing more than all of our available center backs, because either Joao or Kyle Smith would then have to slot in there in one of the center back positions. But yeah, I was totally against that last season. But then if we play a 3-5-2 and try to control the midfield, then I feel like we could see a decent amount of possession and control of this match.
We talked about it in the group chat earlier this week. Yeah, so those are the two ways that I want to see us line up. If we're going to line up in the 4-back, we need to take advantage of the midfield, make sure that we don't play super defensive. Let's let Caesar and Thomas do what we know they can do. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. They're going to make mistakes. But I have faith that both of them can see us out to get 3 points in this match. And if we don't, the 3-5-2 is what I would definitely like.
You got anything?
I also have faith in Galese. Like, if Thomas Williams doesn't make a mistake, 7 out of 10 times Galese will be there and he will make the save. So it's kind of nice to have a goalkeeper that will back up a young player if he does make a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this isn't me bashing Galese in any way. But I don't think his form here has been the best we've seen.
Not this season. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't want this to, like, obviously best keeper that we've had statistically wise ever in the history of the club. But yeah, I mean, he performed better in the international window when he went away for that than he has at this club at all this year. So I'm interested. I mean,
but he still really hasn't had a bad game.
Yeah, no, but he isn't that like dominant goal stopper that we've seen here year in and year out.
He's been Pedro Galese, but he hasn't been El Pupo.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I mean, normally at this point, we're talking about him as the best keeper in the league. You know what I mean? It's early.
He's still up there.
Yeah, he's still up there, but he's not in that like top 3 conversation. You know what I mean? Like, Yes, he's still up there, top 5 keepers in the league
Yeah.
for sure. But he's not like last
Fighting
couple
for
of,
one.
Yeah, it's the last couple of seasons. It's been like him and somebody else are like, that's it.
Now it's Minnesota. I think it's Minnesota's keeper. Saint some. Oh, I can't even remember his name. He's had an amazing season.
He's had what's his name over in Chicago?
Slanita.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's having a great season.
He's been good too. Well, I think we got into the lineups a little bit. We're at a point where we have to cut, come back, get into the lineups, and then give predictions, and we're out of here.
Let's do it.
Hey, Oscar. It's been a day of signings for you today. After getting some money for the Chris Mueller deal, you brought in Jake Mulroney, and now, just as of 6 minutes ago, made Gaston Gonzalez official. I just wanted to get your thoughts on those two players, and especially with Gaston missing the season, the kind of loss of him not being in your future plans for this year.
Right. We were very excited on planning to have Gaston at this point of the season. A lot of work behind that signing, and now the scouting department, the effort from the ownership and everybody on just bringing a player that suits us very well in our game model. And soccer prove us again and show us again that this is very unpredictable, that as much as you plan and as much as you want to predict and things is always, as I said before, a new present that you have to face. And now we have to wait until he gets his recording. It's something that we will support 100% as an excellent club and full of very good human beings here that want to support him. That we don't see them just as a soccer players, but as a human beings that need support. So we're going to do that with Gaston. And Jake is a consequence of this too. I think it's a player who has those characteristics that we need at the moment in the team. Also, we see that his talent and culture will adapt very well to our team. So we're happy. We're very grateful with this opportunity to have these two young guys, and with Jake, with someone there who knows the league also. So look forward to make it work.
Wait, are you the one? Yeah, you're the one that sent in the trade offer.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and put that up here. That was phenomenal. I said the Fabrizio knockoff. Here we go.
Yeah.
Confirmed USA pulls off shocking trade with Mexico that nobody was expecting. Blockbuster move.
Yep. All for trophies. All for
There we
trophies.
go. Hey, so like you said, we're going to get into a little bit of lineups. Bryce, you want to go first?
Oh, I want to hear this one.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting him on the spot.
All right, let's get it. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Here we go.
That's a
4-3-3
fantastic lineup, yeah.
attack. We're gonna have Gillespie in goal.
He's got the FIFA terms
yep.
here. I love it.
I mean, you gotta tell some people, you know.
So a 4-2-3 or 4-2-3-1.
No. Look.
Not
Gillespie.
CMs.
God, yo, that's just smells, homie. All right, Patino at left back. Thomas Williams at left center back. Schlegel at right center back. Juan at right back. Hopefully he can keep up his good form that he had last week because we're going to need this in this game. I'm going to have Araujo at CDM, or center mid CDM. I'm going to have Urso at the right CDM.
Are you just reading the lineup from last game?
Well, yeah, but nah. And then I want to have Torres at left.
Okay.
I want to have Pereira in the midfield. And then I want to have Pato out right and Carr up top.
So 4-2-3-1, like you told me.
Nah. I want to see Urso attacking more in this game, especially with their 2 starting
Yeah, you want
CDMs
to control
out.
the midfield.
Yeah, so I want to see him. Okay, how about this? Pereira and Urso as like 2 number 8s in front of Araujo. So
A 4-3-3.
4-3-3. Yeah.
So that's kind of similar to something that I was going to put out there in the 4-3-3.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have the same back line. I mean, Galese and goal. Schlegel and goal wouldn't be bad either, but
Yeah.
Galese and goal should, he's healthy. He should be there. Moutinho at left back. We're going to go Thomas Williams going to slot in there. Schlegel at the right. And Juan deserves to keep his spot after last week.
Yep. That he does.
So moving to the midfield, we're going to do the 3 central midfielders. This is where I've kind of been tossing things around in my head. Mo has played a lot for us.
Yes.
We could take the opportunity to rest him and play Facundo in that false 9 role, especially with, their central midfield being depleted. We could see those numbers.
Yeah. It's not like he doesn't play as a cam every single game anyway.
Right. So if we were going to see that, I would like to see Araujo at the 6 in the midfield. We would do Urso, and I'd give Andres the shout there if we're going to run.
Uh-oh.
No.
I'd give Andres the shout there in that formation, especially with the 2 number 8s like that. I think he would do well not being forced to be a number 10, being able to play off of Urso.
Yep.
And then up top, we would do, I would keep Benji out on the left. I would put Facundo in that false 9, and then Pato out on the right. But
4-3-3 false 9. Yeah.
if not, we would just keep the same lineup that he had, but I would keep 1 number 6 in Araujo, 2 8s with Mauricio and Urso,
Yep.
and then the same top 3.
Heard. Not a bad shout. Yeah. So as I said earlier, I'm going with something that I was totally against last season.
I've said it for 2 years. This is where we're heading.
Yeah. Gaston, we'll cheers to you next year, buddy. Well, I'm not gonna drink while I'm trying to say this, but
That was good. That was funny.
Galese and goal is the obvious one. And the 3-back, I'm going to keep Kyle Smith out of the rotation. Joao is going to sit at left center back, then Schlegel in the middle, and Thomas Williams outright. We saw him fill into that left center back role against the Red Bulls. Yeah, obviously, we conceded 3 minutes in. Can't just put that on him. It was just a terrible game. So we'll see him at right center back. Then the midfield as the 5. I'm just going to have 1 CDM. Then it's just kind of going to be 4 flat across. Araujo is going to be that 1 pivot, kind of play as Jorginho. And then out left, I think I'm going to put Facundo out there. The 2 midfielders are going to be Urso. Then I'm giving Sebas a shout. I think we all kind of agree that Mo's played a lot. He's in really good form. Want to keep him that way. Don't want to let him get hurt and or just fatigued. So he's just going to rest, maybe come on in the second half. Outright, I'll give Benji the shout outright. Said he hasn't had the best of seasons, but he's just kind of putting in the work.
Last match was a good match for him.
Yeah.
So.
Then up top, I'm taking Carl off and putting Pato up there. Carl obviously didn't have a great game last time. That was like half of our conversation last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really seen Pato just up top. Then I'm going to pair him. It's not going to happen. But maybe I'll put Sylvester up there.
He's injured, you donut.
Oh,
he's
he
injured.
is. Thanks for smacking me with it. Then you know what? Young Player of the Year. Jacqueline gets his first start. Definitely not happening. So the formation is scuffed. The lineup is scuffed.
Well, all right. Hear me out. So you still want to do the 3-back, right?
Yeah.
So another look that Chelsea's done is their 5-back with the two defensive midfielders. Or, I'm sorry, one defensive midfielder. They normally play that Jorginho there.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is. I'm sorry, it is two.
What do you
They'll play. It'll be like Conte, Jorginho.
But Conte gets way higher.
Right. I mean, just lineup wise, you play Conte, Jorginho, then you play one
up top.
attacking,
Yeah,
and
like
then
a
you play
Kovacic.
two up top. So we
Yeah,
run
have
that
two.
same. We run that same formation. You're Facundo and Pato up top, right? Then you move into the attacking midfield. You give Mo the start, I guess, if you want to do that.
Yeah. I'm just sticking with my Jacqueline.
Yeah. Hey,
Nice.
there you go.
I don't know. I want the kid to do well. Notre Dame grad. Yeah, basically just scuffed lineup for me.
Ooh.
I just found out, hour and a half ago, that Sylvester was hurt.
It came out today. I'll give it to you. Earlier
Yeah,
today.
and I'm guessing it had to be in training.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I
mean,
guess-
it's
All right.
Terrible.
So none of us mentioned Mendez in this.
I
lineup.
literally have him in my starting 11.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to him.
Um,
He's kind of their dad with that goal last season.
That's true.
that's
Yeah.
very
So
true. Yeah, he's not in my lineup. He could very well, especially with the 4-3-3 that I want to play, be in there. Like we said, we all agree that Mo needs some rest, I think, and we want to keep him in his best form. He's obviously there as an option to come in the game and make the difference that we need him to, if we do, and all of our lineups do have coverage to where we're not going to fall down ridiculous amounts with, obviously Urso's a great box-to-box midfielder, Sebas is a great box-to-box midfielder.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we have options. You always say it. It's not a bad problem to have. We have
Yeah.
good problems.
good problems.
finally,
Only bad problem we have is we have yet to put it all together.
Yep.
It's always been one aspect of the game missing. And that's a scary thing to think about for the rest of the league, is that we're sitting in the position that we're in right now and we have yet to play a complete game. So
Pretty much, yeah. I think the closest thing we saw was LAFC, but that was something else. Don't think anyone could have... Oh, I think I almost came close to predicting that match. But we're going to move on to predictions for this match. I think away, we may be lucky to steal a point 2-1. But more realistically, going with the same score I went with last week is a 1-1. At least I said that on Charlotte Fan TV.
yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. Obviously our road form looks good. We've beaten some pretty strong teams on the road. But it's a different animal. We're down. It's going to be a sloppy game. I'm going to go 1-1. If we even score, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, if we control the midfield, we definitely have a shot.
Yeah, no, for sure. But if we come out and sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit with us. And
there
if
you
we
go.
come out with the maybe shit.
We may shit the bed.
what's Uncle Bubba gonna say? 2-0. We're coming home with 3 points. Let's go.
Who?
Carr's bagging a brace, bro. He's gonna shut up every motherfucker ever to speak bad on his name. Look, Torres gonna have an assist. Pereira's gonna have another assist. Thomas Williams is gonna shut down the motherfucking back line.
What?
Alright? Schlegel, they're gonna be a beast pairing. It's just gonna come out of nowhere. No one's gonna expect it. Galais is gonna have 1 or 2 good saves that we expect him to make.
Have
And
you
we're
said
gonna
your
win
score
2-0. 2-0.
Okay.
Carr's bagging a brace.
I thought you said he was going to have a hat trick.
No.
Well,
Definitely had.
Brace. Carr's bagging a brace.
you can catch more of these takes from him Saturday live in person when we have our watch party against Montreal. Doors open at 3:30. Get out there early. Check out the Derby watch party. These are compliments of Tin Roof for the Derby, so shout out them. Make sure you guys come by, man. Live podcast recording afterwards with the fan reactions included into it. We're gonna figure it out.
He will be worse than this.
Oh, 100%.
Way worse.
$3 seltzers.
$5 tequila, you're done.
This boy is
You're
going
done for.
ham. But listen,
Deflect.
like we say
That's fine.
every single time, Tin Roof loves Orlando City. We love Tin Roof here at OC Fan TV, and they really want to make this a regular thing. Let's continue to show out every single time.
Yep.
Arcade games are going to be on. Bring the Kingston's Cubs by. They can do their backflips as long as they don't hurt themselves.
Yeah, not trying to be sued as Tin
Yeah,
Roof.
that's we're looking into liability insurances and stuff like that for the other thing that we're talking about.
Love, heard.
And that's definitely not something we want to happen.
Nope.
So backflips are not advised. Retract statement.
Backflips, we don't want to happen. We do want you guys to keep up with our socials. You can find us on Instagram at OCFanTV, on Twitter at OCFanTV22, and TikTok at OCFanTV. Post all of our fan reaction clips there. Twitter is possibly the best place to find us for all of our stupid and or drunk takes. You got one more?
I know my camera's not
Probably
on
did.
right now.
Yeah.
2 quick shout outs.
Heard.
Shout out to Logan every single week,
Facts.
coming through with some amazing content.
Mm-hmm.
Dude knows how to cut a promo.
Yeah. As that one guy said on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. He's most electrifying man in Orlando City entertainment, to quote The Rock.
Showing out, or shouting out, not, I can't even speak. He's kind of showing up Evan West and Miguel Gallardo.
Yeah, for real. And other shout out is the sailor captain guy.
Yo.
What?
No idea where you came from, lad, but come back next week.
Who was that? If anyone knows who that was, I would say tag him on Twitter, but I bet he does not have a Twitter or any form of social media.
And shout out Zach for always standing in front of the camera trying to get content, even when people keep walking past him, man.
I didn't put it in the video, but right when the game ended, and there was like 3 25-year-old people walking up, I looked around there, and they were looking, and they were like pointing at us, and I'm like, yeah, come over here, let's go. And they stopped right at the scooters right in front of us, and they didn't even say anything to it. That was the most embarrassing thing. Well, probably not the most embarrassing, but pretty embarrassing.
Do you have that clip of us standing outside the stadium and hearing the chants and just over there just doing the chant along
What,
with
me
the
just
wall?
standing there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably on my computer somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the two of us for having to leave at the 65th and the 70th every time and watch the end of the game on the...
Just to give you guys some free content.
Hey, but Bryce has got to stay in there to make sure that we didn't miss anything.
To make sure to clean up all the alcohol that was left behind.
I'll give that one more shout out. Shout out to those lads that stacked those cups for the past 2 weeks.
Please keep that going. I know we're running way over right now.
Yeah,
but I have a little bit of advice. I know it's a kid that walks around with the cups on the wall. But like we see these videos of people at other stadiums and they stack it up the what's it called? Up the stadium.
Up the bleachers.
So instead of the kid just walking around with a stack and then he's getting stopped by security, if we just send it all the way up the wall, and people are going to do it because, 1, they're probably drunk. 2, why not? Just create the beer snake going up the wall, and then we'll get famous.
Yeah, bud. And if you do tune into our podcasts and stuff like that, make sure to DM us. We want to bring you on for a little interview to see how the cup stacking started.
Yeah, 100%. We always got cups for you, and then we always have content for you guys. So we're glad we can keep bringing it to you. But we're gonna have to end this one here, and we'll talk to you guys later.